Welcome to InfoNuggets, guys. So in this lecture we will be studying about Workspace of Adobe Illustrator software. Workspace of Adobe Illustrator software is not so complex, it's basic and it has few panels which we need to understand. First of all, I want to ask you what Workspace actually is. Basically, Workspace is an area where we work. For example, in daily life when we work, we need a good environment around us to work efficiently and quickly with a good mood. If our workspace is not good, we are not comfortable with it, we won't be able to work efficiently. Similarly, in Adobe Illustrator software, our workspace includes panels, tools, etc. We need a good workspace, we need to be comfortable with our tools around us. So, to be comfortable, we need to know about the workspace. So, let's begin. First of all, in the workspace, we have status bar panel in the bottom. Status bar panel includes three things: a percentage, a number, and something written here. First we will talk about this written part. Here it's written selection. Why is it written selection only? It could be written anything. Selection is written here because the tool which we are using right now is selection tool. The black cursor you are seeing on the screen is known as the selection tool. Now if I change my tool, if I use pen tool, it changes to pen. If I use rectangle tool, it will change to rectangle. So basically it tells us the name of the tool which we are using. If I use hand tool, it would be written hand. Right now it's not important what these tools do, you just need to learn about this panel. So this was all about this panel. Now we have number 2 written here and a percentage. So this percentage is about zooming in and zooming out. When I zoom in, the percentage increases. When I zoom out, the percentage decreases. If I press fit on screen, it will take me to the second artboard. But why second only? It could have taken me to the first one and to the second one. This is because I have chosen here the second artboard. This part is known as the artboard navigator. If I choose artboard number 3 here, it will take me to the third artboard. If I choose artboard number 1, it will take me to the first artboard. Now if I am somewhere here and I go to zoom in percentage or zoom out percentage, I will click fit on screen. It will take me to the first artboard. Now if I zoom in a lot, now press fit on screen, it will give me a clear view of my artboard. It will show me all the 4 corners of my artboard. My artboard is clear right now. So this percentage and this number takes me to the artboard. This was all about this panel. Now we have tools panel. This is actually known as a toolbox. The toolbox contains 2 cursor and lot of tools that we need in Adobe Illustrator software. We will use these all tools throughout the tutorial. After the tutorial, you will be thorough with all the tools. Now, this toolbox contains all the tools that we need. And these 2 boxes we can see are used to change the color of the vector shape we make. If I use rectangle tool and create a vector shape, for example I create a square and I want to change its color, I will just double click on the fill upper box and click on color. Nothing will happen because I haven't chosen the square. If I choose the square and now double click on the upper box and change the color and press OK, the color has changed. Now if I want to change the color of border, I will click on the lower box and now double click and change the color. To change the color, you just need to select your vector shape first. I select it. Now I double click on the stroke. Done. The upper box is known as fill and the lower box is known as stroke. If you want to change the color inside your vector shape, you need to change the color of fill. You need to click on the upper box, then double click on it, then change the color as you want. Simple. Now the border of the square or the stroke of the square we see is quite small. Now if we want to increase it, we will go to the control panel. This panel on the top we see is the control panel. The control panel includes the stroke panel. Now we can increase the stroke size from here. Choose your vector shape. Now here it's written 1 point. Let's make it 15. So now stroke size has increased, or we can either do is press this arrow and choose any of the points we want. For example, 60, it's too big, let's make it 16. We can either type or we can choose 16. So this was all about the stroke panel. Stroke panel is used to increase or decrease the stroke weight. So, and these two boxes that we see in the control panel have the same work that the boxes in the toolbox panel had. These are used to change the color. The left box is used to change the inner fill, and the right box is used to change the stroke color. Let's change the stroke color, and the inner color shall be black. Simple. So now we have two boxes here. This is variable width profile and this is brush definition. If I choose my pen tool or pencil tool or brush tool, anything, for example, I create a line, I create a curve, press V for the direct selection tool. Now I want to remove color from this curve. I will just click on the curve and go to the fill X and press none. The color has been removed from the curve. Now if I want to change the design of this curve, I will go to width profile. I will choose any of the width profile that I want. For example, I will choose this one. So here we can. These are used to make grass, leaf, hairs, etc. These are very useful in Adobe Illustrator software for making illustrations. This can be done on the pencil tool and the brush tool too. For example, I choose a brush tool and I make a line with pencil tool. So we have 3 lines right now here. Let's increase their stroke. Let's make the stroke as 3. Now let's change the design. Let's make it this one. Now we have all the lines made by the pencil, pen and the brush in the same design that we chose from here. This one has not changed. Let's change it. This one is not paint. We notice that paint one is not changing. We will talk about this in the next lecture. In this lecture we need to see that when we choose this one and choose any of the width profile, the design of pen or pencil tool changes. Now we can also change the tips of the pen and the pencil tool that we had. We can make it charcoal feather, or we can make it basic that we already have. We can make it touch calligraphic brush, make it thick, oval, anything that we want. We can make it stripper, we can make it silver. Simple. I like charcoal feather a lot. I use it a lot in my illustrations. So now we will go to the brush tool. Use the brush tool. I will make a line. Now I will choose it, and now I can change the design I want. Basic, bold, anything. Simple. So here we have opacity. Now we can increase or decrease the opacity of any of the vector shape or design we have created. For example, we created a square here. We will decrease its opacity. Select the square, go to opacity and decrease it. Let's decrease it. We can even type here. Let's make it 65%. So this was all about the opacity. Here we have a style. Here we get graphics. We can even add more graphics or create more graphics in Adobe Illustrator. We will talk about this in further lectures. Now right now we have this graphic. We choose this. First we choose a square. Now the graphic. So we have graphic on our square. Simple. So this was all about the control panel that we need to know right now. In the further lectures we will go in detail about this panel. Next we have the menu bar. Menu bar consists of file, edit, object, type, select, etc. First we will talk about file. File consists of new, from where we can open new project, open in order to open old projects. We can press save to save our projects. Here we have place that we will be using in basically all the lectures for importing the notes. Place is used for importing any image, any JPG, any PNG or any type of image to Adobe Illustrator software. Here we have export. Here we can export. Here we have export as. We can export any of an image or vector art that we have created to any form. For example, I created a logo. Now I want to export it in the form of PNG image so that it can be placed in any website or somewhere. So I will choose the format PNG. If I want it in JPG, I will choose JPEG. If I want Photoshop, I will choose Photoshop. Simple. So here we have edit. From edit we can cut, copy, paste, etc. We will use this in further lectures. Similarly for objects, type, select, we will talk about these in further lectures. Here we have effects. With effects we can add different cool effects to a vector art. We can make them 3D. We can convert them to a different shape. We can either make them glow, even make their shadow, change their textures, etc. We will talk about these in a separate lecture on effects. Here we have window. With window we can get any of the tool that we want which is not available on our screen. For example, I need a tool known as layers. It will open the layers tool. If I want a tool which is known as graphic styles, it will get me the graphic styles tool. If I want pathfinder tool, it will open me the pathfinder tool. If I need a navigator, it will bring me the navigator. So basically window is the place from where you can get all the tools you want on your screen. So last is the panel dock. Panel dock consists of all the tools that we need for our artwork. We can place or remove tools from here as we want. For example, here I have appearance. I don't need it, so I will just click on it, drag it out. So I have my appearance out. I don't need it, so I can cross it. Here I have brushes. I take it out, and if I by mistake cross it, I can get it back from my window option. I will choose brushes and Windows panel is back. I can place it back here. Simple. Here are gradients, layers, strokes, swatches, etc. We will study about these in the further lectures. This lecture is just a basic introduction to the workspace. It's not about the tools in this lecture, it's about the panels. So this is known as the panel dock. So this was the toolbox panel. Here it was control panel, it was menu bar panel, and this was status bar panel. So the last one is the workspace selector tool. Workspace selector tool with one click gives you all the tools you need for a purpose. For example, my purpose is painting. I want to paint any vector artwork. So I will get all the painting tools from here. I will get them from window. I will choose brushes, colors, strokes, etc. Or I will get from the toolbox panel. Instead of doing this, searching paint tools here and there, I can just go to the workspace selector, click on the arrow and choose painting. After choosing painting, I will get all the painting tools that are available in Adobe Illustrator software on one click on my screen. Now, if I want to trace something, I will just find the tracing tools here and there. Rather than doing that, I can just go to the workspace selector and choose tracing. So here I have got all the tracing tools available in the Adobe Illustrator software. Now, for right now, I want you all to choose the Essentials Classic for the further lectures. We will be using all the tools present in Essentials Classic, and we will be removing few of the tools present in our screen. This lecture was just a basic overview of what we need to learn about the workspace. In this lecture, we learned about the panels that we require for creating a perfect illustration. We learned about toolbox panel, menu bar panel, control panel, workspace selector, etc. From this lecture, we know the names of all these panels. In further lectures, we will be learning in detail about these panels. We will be learning about the tools that are available to us in these panels. For example, we have rectangle tool, pen tool, etc. in the toolbox panel. We will be learning about these tools in further lectures. Each tool will have a separate lecture. So this was all about this lecture, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you have any doubt, you can comment down below, or you can go to our Instagram handle and you can message me on there. Thank you, guys.